Hi, this is Owen Abbas saying from Behind the Gloves. I'm here with Eddie Hearn. He had the press conference for Scott Quigg versus Stefan Giome. What do you reckon of the fight on Saturday in regards to... Do you reckon Scott Quigg's got his mind on other things? Or
he could do. I mean, he's meticulous in his preparation, so he's a real pro. You know, Giome is game, you know, at 24, fought some of the best fighters in the world, fought Santa Cruz, lost the controversial decision against Kamida, lost another controversial decision against Jamie McDonnell, knocked out Lee Haskins, boxed for the WBC bantamweight title in Japan, his last fight. So he's been around, you know, and he comes to bring it, all action. Obviously everyone's talking about the Carl Frampton fight, but Scott's got business to do on Saturday night.
I want to talk about this event. You've got some cracking fights on this. So you've got Anthony Crawler, he never fails to excite. You've got obviously Denton Marcel versus Sam Egginton. You've got Scotty Cordell fighting Kirk Goodins. You've got, you know, it's a real, some of these are potential toe-to-toe battles.
Yeah, I think this is a great card. You know, 5 televised bouts, all, you know, could go either way. I think that the Cardle against Goodins fight is a really, really good fight. 2 top young lightweights. For those two at this stage in their career, it's really all or nothing. You know, it's for the English title, but more importantly to become the mandatory for the British title. Eggington against Vassell, I think, could steal the show. It's going to be a toe-to-toe war all night. Crawler, I believe, is in the toughest fight of his career against Gamaliel Diaz. Obviously, he's been in with the likes of and beaten Robert Guerrero, fought Jorge Linares, you know, won the WBC super featherweight title, lost it in Japan to Miura, who's a class act, lost controversy last time out against Dante Jordan. So it's a real tough fight for Anthony Crawler. Joshua, you know, everyone's talking about Anthony Joshua. First, probably real step up, 21-9 against Konstantin Erich. Went 12 with Orlando Solis, went the distance with Dennis Baktov, who Joshua will be in next, and Scott Quigg in a crunch fight in his career to make sure he wins and sets up those big unification fights.
I was going to ask you about Anthony actually. Anthony Joshua's fighting twice in 2 months. So he's got one on Saturday and one on October 11th.
Correct.
What would you think? You know, your thought process in making him fight so close between fights?
Well, mainly because he's not really doing many rounds, and mainly because at this stage in his career you can afford to do so. As the fights become more taxing, as you step up the rounds, as the camps become more intensive, you know, you really need to slow down a little bit. So you'll probably see after October 11th those gaps widening. He'll box on November 29th. Looks like we're in Liverpool, and then he's done for the year, and then he'll have a little bit of time off. So this one, you know, we're looking for a nice clean win on Saturday night to make sure he's okay for Baktov.
Oh, that's fine. I just want to ask you about Kell Brook. How's he getting along?
He's okay. He's back home. I mean, it was a horrific injury, just one wound, contrary to reports of 4 and 5, but a bad one across the middle of his thigh. Unbelievably, no ligament or tendon damage, which is a miracle, and he's going to be okay and make a full recovery. Doctors are saying 4 or 5 weeks he can start training again. Very, very lucky, but in terms of disruption to his career, probably only a couple of months. So you'll see him probably February or March defend his world title.
And it's not going to hamper, you know, the Amir Khan talks or anything like that?
No, I mean, look, Khan's fighting on December 6th still, probably. So if they want us to go straight into the Khan fight in March or April, fine. If we defend them February or March and then fight him in the summer, fine. Whatever it takes to make that fight, we'll try and do from our end. And you know, it's one that everyone desperately wants.
Have the talk started?
Yeah, I've been talking to Al Heyman's team quite a lot since the Porter fight. I don't know what of those have been relayed to Amir Khan, because I saw him tweet saying he doesn't know anything about it, but there's been plenty of talks, don't worry about that. So I think his team are doing the right thing, which is exploring opportunities for the fighters.
Going off that, I just want to talk about Abelli versus Klebley. What's the latest with that?
So it was due to be December 6th on the Kell Brook card, so now it looks like we switch back to November the 29th in Liverpool. The dynamics of the deal will change a little bit, because obviously it's Bellew's on home turf now, so I think they're both sensible guys. They both realise this is the biggest fight for them at the moment in the division, so hopefully we can get that done and sealed next week.
Okay, so obviously next year you've got probably a very busy year, because there's a lot of potential fights. There's Frampton, Quigg,
Cleverly Bellew, Brook against Khan, Froch against the Gal. It's non-stop, but it's great for British boxing.
So yeah, I just want to say, what do you want to say to the fans that, you know, that are looking out for these?
Just keep supporting, you know, keep putting the pressure on me to make the fights. You know, the demand from them is what's making these fights happen. You know, and the demand from the broadcasters. Understand we do all we can to deliver these fights. Boxing is also a business. Every decision that we make is based along many things, for fans, for broadcasters, for fighters, and for the bottom line. So trust in what we do, enjoy the shows, and get ready for a string of major British fights.
One last thing, I read the news that obviously you're co-promoting Chris Avalos with Top Rank Boxing. How did that deal come across?
It's just a power move, to be quite honest with you. I mean, it's just a wonderful move to help in my negotiations and my position in the Quigg Frampton fight. Frampton has to fight Avalos next, and if he wants to fight Quigg next, then we can potentially make that happen. We can all sit down and make everyone happy. So I understand the market and the opportunities for Avalos quite well, so I think Top Rank were keen for me to be involved and to advise them. There's already been correspondence from the IBF and from Top Rank with Cyclone Promotions and Carl Frampton. They're stating that he might have an injury, which they're assessing at the moment. But it's great for us, puts us in a great position and helps our position in negotiating the Quigg Frampton fight.
Are you personally going to look to move to America at some point, deal in America dealings as well?
Yeah, I think we've got good relationships out there, and I think that can be done. But we've got the British market seems to be getting bigger and bigger, and so many big fights to be made. We've got our hands full here, but in some time we will move out there and make our move.
Okay, Eddie, thank you very much for talking to Behind the Gloves.
No problem.